Experiencing the Illusory Nature of Everything by the Venerable Renza. Meditation awakens in you the realization of how the nature of everything is illusory and dreamlike. The first thing is to realize that the true nature of everything is dreamlike and illusory. Maintain that awareness even in the thick of samsara. Maintain your awareness in the ocean of samsara. With wisdom, you can maintain a humorous state of mind when facing anything, even death. When death approaches, you can still face it with a humorous attitude. It indicates that you are not ordinary. You may have already seen through life and death, or even transcended life and death through meditation. Thus, you can face death with a sense of humour. A Zen master in the past was like this. Before passing away, he did a handstand. This is also a sense of humour. By doing a handstand, he was telling the world, "Look at how upside down you are." Yet he didn't explicitly say it. Instead, he expressed it through passing away in a handstand. Not to mention passing away while doing a handstand, even passing away while standing is difficult enough. Even if you are able to pass away while sitting, it shows your spiritual attainment. People usually pass away while lying down. The situations of passing away while lying down also vary. With the lion's posture, like Buddha, one can pass away in peace, whereas ordinary people usually pass away while lying flat in pain. It's pathetic. We should practice diligently. If you still don't practice when thinking of the moment of death, you are very ignorant. Everyone is bound to die. How long can you live? One great master has said, after meditation practice, one should become a child of illusion. You feel that everything about yourself is illusory. Your body, sensations, thoughts, and actions are all illusions. You become a child of illusion. You feel that all your five aggregates are illusory, without a self. That's a wonderful feeling. If you have this feeling after meditation, your practice is going well. You feel that your five aggregates are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows. You have realized their emptiness, as well as the illusory nature of your body. You can meditate in this way. Your physical body is illusory, like a dream. Similarly, your aggregate of sensations, feelings, as well as the aggregates of perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness are all illusory, like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows. The best way to experience the illusory nature of things is through visual consciousness. When you close your eyes, you don't see anything, and therefore nothing seems to exist. When you open your eyes, everything appears immediately. Hence, what you see is actually generated by your visual consciousness. Why is it that when our eyes are closed, there are no objects generated, but when they are open, objects arise? This is because once light enters our eyes, our minds have the function to discern it, forming different objects and generating various images. Our eyes have a very high resolution, able to differentiate even slight differences. Therefore, they can clearly discern various things and generate visual objects. The same applies to sound. For example, when you play a recorder, what comes out is certainly sound waves. However, once these sound waves enter your ears, you turn them into sound, into music. It's your auditory consciousness that turns them into sound. In reality, there isn't any music in the recorder, only electromagnetic waves are radiated. Be it a recorder or a radio, it's just a machine. How could it speak? It merely emits sound waves. It is your own auditory faculty and consciousness that turn them into sound and music. Isn't this illusory? This is exactly an illusion. You create them as if in a dream. This is an easy way to understand the illusory nature of things, that is, to meditate on the 5 consciousnesses of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and body, as well as the mind consciousness. Meditating on the illusory nature of the aggregate of consciousness is the easiest. In regard to the physical body, it is a bit more challenging. The physical body is flesh, so it's relatively difficult to perceive it as dreamlike and illusory, because our sense of it is too vivid. Flesh can be consumed, and when cooked, it even has a taste. How can it be dreamlike and illusory? In fact, eating is also a kind of sensation. When you eat, it's a sense of taste which is discerned by your tongue. This is also an illusion. Without the 6 consciousnesses, you wouldn't be able to perceive the aggregate of form. In particular, the nose consciousness senses odours, the tongue consciousness tastes flavours, and the body consciousness, the sensation of the body, experiences pain, pleasure, cold and heat. The sensation of the body is actually a kind of discernment, like illusions. However, we tend to perceive this illusion as real, believing that the physical body truly exists. In reality, the physical body is like an illusion. We need to take our time to meditate on this. How do we exactly perceive the existence of forms? Without the 6 consciousnesses, we cannot perceive forms. This demonstrates that the aggregate of form is also illusory.